Man, like Col3trane, what's going on, bro?
Sorry, I'm a bit late because I've been running on a little bit.
That's cool, man. That's cool, man. How you doing anyway? How's everything in lockdown right now?
Bless, bro. All good. Just kind of glad that we're sort of semi coming to the end of it, and
Yeah,
I've been blessed though. I've been like musicians and artists and producers have been thriving during lockdown because we've been
I
on lockdown.
know. It's
We've
been
been on,
crazy because a lot of artists I've been speaking with, they've been saying to me that they're loving this time in order to like create stuff because it must be difficult being an artist then knowing that you tour all the time and do shows and stuff like that and then having that come to a complete stop. You must be
Mm.
thinking like, what more can I do at this stage?
Yeah, it's weird. It is very weird. You get like periods of like, or at least for me, and I think a lot of artists get this as well. You get periods of like when everything's so busy, so on, and you're like not really sleeping and you're just going crazy. And then you get periods of when you're not really doing that much.
Mm.
Uh, but this has been a very long period of just being able to spend time with myself and with my girl, and just been writing tunes and yeah, same thing, man.
Yeah, same thing you're doing, man. I saw on your Insta story earlier that you said your hair needs maintenance,
I think so.
bruv. All right, okay, cool. Let's do this, yeah. So like,
Oh,
like the thing is, this was worse. It was an afro, right? And I literally like had cut my hair because I'm able to be self sufficient enough. But I'm like, this is ridiculous, man. You must be in pain right now for not having the style you want, bro.
I might take blonde. I had a guy come around and dye it blonde for me because it was just getting too mad. But now it's just blonde. But the thing is, always with people's hair, is that your thing doesn't look that bad, and I'm sure
Mm.
that my thing that anyone else doesn't look that bad. Like I don't like whatever. It just feels so uncomfortable.
I get you. I get your pain completely because it's like when you go to like when you make appearances like red carpets or you're going to a club or you're doing something that's a motive, yeah, and you have to feel so fresh. And knowing that there's been none of that, I mean, you can get away with it because you've been indoors, but you still have that mentality of like, no, this is not right for me, bro.
And then now it's like I can get a barber to come around to my yard, but I don't know. I need to pattern it, man. I need to do it. I need to.
I was gonna ask actually, like, cause it's like what you just said, like you got a barber that comes to you. So, like, do you have a style for when you get your hair like fully patterned next?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, but my barber, I don't even know what he's on, but I don't think he's gonna come. He's got a shop, and he's not gonna come. Like it's just him in his shop. But I don't think his shop's gonna be open. And
Okay.
try to call him, and nothing. So I'm just gonna have to cheat on my barber and guess because this is getting out of hand.
Yeah, I've only cheated on my barber once, and that felt worse than when I was in my last relationship. It was really bad. Do you know what I mean? But it had to be done, man. But turns out the person I cheated on my barber with was the best barber I ever had in my entire life.
Switch up. Did you switch up?
Sorry.
Did you switch up? Did you switch up?
I did. I had to because the barber I had before, he was good, but it got to the point
No.
of like I didn't get what I really wanted. So yeah, but the only time I've ever cheated, really. So you turned 21 just a few months ago.
Yes, sir.
Now, obviously, a milestone of 21, but
Mm.
unfortunately, being in the period of lockdown, it must have been really hard to like arrange like a real big turn up because like 21 is like a milestone. Did you manage to celebrate in any way at all?
Yeah, we did. We did. I was out in the countryside. I was at my girl's dad's spot in the countryside with my girl, my brother and his girl, and my best mate was there as well. So we were all kind of kicking it out there for a while.
Mm.
Um, and my ma came down and surprised me, which was real nice,
Oh, bless you.
which was real cool. And then bro, we could do a ton with just two people. It's fine. Man. Like, I had to think, oh,
That's true. To be fair, you
yeah,
don't you don't need like a big like audience as long as you got your closest people. It's calm.
it's also a blessing because it's like if I had to throw a party, I would have had to like invite bare people, and that wasn't like, that's so much politics and this and that, and I don't really want to do that. I just want to like spend the time with people that I love. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's true. But would you think that, like, say when this whole madness is over and everyone can be more free with what they want to do you think you'll do like a proper turn up, like to make up for lost time?
Maybe I'll do a thing for my 22nd birthday.
Uh,
Maybe I'll.
so like a kind of combination of two in one.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so I mean, I just want to get into it. Like, I want to find out once and for all because I saw in an interview that you had. Well, this was a couple of years ago that you had no idea that Stormzy had blocked you. Has he finally unblocked you at this stage?
I think
Or
he doesn't do Instagram anymore, does he? Because I
oh
just
no, that's right.
do Instagram. I was
Oh
actually
no,
thinking,
that's right.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess you'll never know then. But I mean, obviously, you had like plans to go to Cape Town, and like you would have had like Ari Lennox and Stormzy on the lineup, and yourself, and uh, maybe that was the initiation of. Nah, it's calm. Don't worry.
I
It's
was
all
definitely
blessed.
gonna try. Well, because it's definitely not a thing of
Yeah. Yeah.
like I've never met the guy. I've
Yeah.
never
Yeah.
spoken to him. I don't know. Like it's definitely like an accidental thing.
Yeah. No, I remember you mentioned it a few times. It's just like, we know that obviously, there's
I'm gonna have
no
to confront him. I'm gonna have to be like, yo, bro.
the next red carpet when all this shit's over, opportunities for that. Then you know what I mean. Just like have that conversation, man. And I bet there might be even a session out of it. You never know.
That would be cool, wouldn't
That'd be sick, man. Now you're born in London,
it?
but your background is American and Egyptian.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So, what was it like? What was it like growing up with with the traditional elements with your parents that have their ways of being American and Egyptian, and what are the things that you taken from them as far as their backgrounds that you apply to your life?
I think that for me, I always felt like I grew up in like an American household.
Mm.
Always like I don't know if my mom probably feels like this, but there were just certain things that just like any person would have, like there's different like traditions and customs and like just what people do that's just a little bit different. Like, you know, couldn't even really put my finger on it. Always different music as well. My mom's always listening to like I've never really listened to no English music like that.
Mm.
But the Egyptian thing is techie because my grandparents moved to America. My dad moved to America when he was really young.
Mm.
So he's pretty much American. Um, but I went to Egypt recently. Actually, I went before this whole lockdown.
Mm.
Luckily, I went in February for the first time. It was really amazing and enlightening experience. It was really really cool.
What
Um,
was the best fit? What was the best bits you took away from Egypt? No, it's your first time going over there.
I think I went to one of my uncle's houses, and there were like loads of people there, and realizing that everyone had the same last name
Oh
was
wow,
crazy. Everyone had my last name, which is like something I never really deep before. I was like, wow, this is crazy.
it's like one massive big
Obviously,
family.
yeah, huge, huge, huge. I mean, it's like a bunch of uncles, great uncles, aunties, and that. So it was a lot of people, and to see that was proper crazy. Also, like in Egypt, there's so much history around. It's such a beautiful country.
Mm.
So yeah, it was really
I
cool.
mean, I definitely want to do more traveling, man, because I've had unfortunately, I've had a few occasions where I was scheduled to travel. Like I was meant to go to Dublin in March, and then obviously that was before the lockdown stuff, and then we were fearing. And then
Yeah,
beforehand, I was meant to go to Prague, but unfortunately, the week before, I lost my passport.
techie.
So it was a bit techie, but I mean, third time's a charm. Like I definitely want to do more traveling in the future, though. Still.
Yeah.
So I mean, what got you into music? Was it something you were exposed to at a young age? Like, how did you get started in your journey from it?
Um, I think I always knew that I wanted to do music.
Mm.
I always dreamed of doing music, but I didn't really think that I could actually do it. And then once I started doing it, just kind of, I saw just like, I kind of came up in the same like generation as like SoundCloud rappers, you know what I mean? So I realized that all of these guys are making tunes from their bedroom. and I was like, yo, I could definitely do that,
Mm.
but I'm not trying to, I'm not gonna be a SoundCloud rapper. So I had like a little microphone and some little speakers, and then I dragged the Dilla beat into GarageBand,
Mm.
and I just started singing over it, and it sounded terrible, but I really enjoyed it. So then I just kept doing it,
Mm.
and then I started making my own beats, and then I started meeting other people and like working on music with them, and then bada bing, bada boom, and I'm here
And
now.
then obviously, you're here. You're in the limelight. You're even swagging out. I don't know who's swagging over the other right now. Like, because I'm only wearing this because of the thought that I can't go on holiday. So let me just swag myself as much as possible, man. But like, I'm rating your swag though still.
Appreciate it.
Uh,
Appreciate it.
I hear that one of your favorite R&B influences is Usher.
Yeah, for sure.
And I know, and I've been hearing that one of your favorite albums of all time of his is Confessions.
For sure. Yeah.
Right. So what I wanted to know from you is, what is your favorite Usher song of all time?
Only one.
Only one, if you can. If not, top three.
Top three in no particular order be Confessions Part Two.
Okay.
It would be You Don't Have to Call
Okay.
and Burn.
Do you know what? One of my actual favorites of all time is I Don't Know from 8701.
Bang.
Banger. You know where P Diddy had
Yeah.
his like verse at the very beginning and it just drops, and then oh boy, I listen to it most times on the way to work, man, and I'm thinking like, yo, I need to get back to that era of of the classic R&Bs, man. So I appreciate that you love Usher. And when I heard Problems in Us, I kind of got that Usher essence, like
Thank,
in that sort of flavor. What was the influence in making that particular track? Because it's a banger.
thank you. It's funny, a lot of people say that, but I really don't see it. But a lot of people say that, so it must be true. Yeah, I mean, I was working with Jay and Jay Moon and a producer from London called Sega Bodega,
Mm.
sick producer. Um, we was in the studio and I recorded like the first kind of like two phrases of it, and then it was like, is that the hook? Like, is that the verse? Like, what happens now? And then I was like, try, let's just repeat it. And then we repeated it, and then we kind of molded the music around it, and then went into something else. It's a bit of a weird structure, that song, but it's cool. It works, and I really love it.
Yeah, because I mean, even Chemicals and Tyler, that off the boot mixtape, I'm really feeling, and that particular track like gets me in the mind of like old school soul. Like if I was to listen to like Shaka Khan, that's the sort of
Mm.
flavors that I get from that. With with all the mixtapes and the EPs, was it a case for you that you were being experimental on your part, that you wanted to just try different things?
For sure. I think I'm always trying to like, for better or for worse, I'm always trying to do something different.
Mm,
Um, I get bored if I try and do the same thing again. I think most artists do.
yeah. So then when you make a track, that's one thing, and then when you get to another track, it's like, okay, I want something different. All right, let's see what we come up now.
I'm just not. I'm not. I don't know. I don't know whether that's a good thing or not. And but I like making so many different types of music.
Mm.
So and
I mean, it's
like
always good to have like like a signature sound that defines you. But at the same time, from what I notice is, even with the way you sing, it's like that's your distinct sound in your vocals, and then whatever comes to the tracks that you make, it's always going to fit in somehow because you've already got that distinct sound.
yeah, for sure. I mean, I think actually was Lido's a producer and singer, one of the most amazing producers I've ever met from out in LA. We was talking, and he used to make music that was just purely instrumental. Now, and then he's just started singing on his music, and he was saying to me, bro, it's so much easier and so much more fun making music now that I'm singing, because
Mm.
every song sounds like a me song because I'm singing on it. I don't have to
Yeah.
make it sound like me just by the instrumentation, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, no, and it definitely is. So we all know, like, when you hear your vocals, it will fit anywhere. Um, and obviously down to the collaborations, I know you've done some really sick ones recently. Like you've worked with Sinead Harnett with "Be the One."
Yeah,
We interviewed her a few months ago. Like really sweet girl.
yeah.
Mira May that you done with Rendezvous. And then obviously the
Uh,
latest project with Kiana Leedy with Clutch,
yeah.
another banger in itself. You just keep coming with it. How did you get to the work with these amazing women, man? Because was it easy to get hold of them and just say, "Yo, let's do this"?
Uh, with Sinead, we just met. I was at some event, and I've really like. She has one of the most amazing voices I've ever heard.
Mm.
She's a cheat code the way that she can sing, man. It's insane. And then we made a couple tunes. We got in the studio, made a couple tunes, and then she hit me and was like, "Yo, come, let's do this remix." I was like, "Yeah, for sure."
Mm-hmm.
Kiana was like, she just hit me on Instagram. She just hit me up on Instagram last year, um, and I ended up doing a song on her album.
Okay.
Uh,
So you worked with each other to having like you feature on her album and her feature on yours.
yeah, 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 which was cool. Like, and that wasn't like what I set out to do or anything. I mean, I've been a fan of hers for time as well, and she uh, she just had this song that she liked for me, and then um, yeah, like we got it cracking, and then I made Clutch, and I was like, yo, it'd be sick if I had her on it.
Yeah.
And then she that, but it's crazy because we still ain't even met.
Oh, you haven't met yet. Oh,
Still
was
ain't
it? So
even
was it a thing where she did her verse and then sent the vocals over to you
yeah,
to get
we
done?
never because we were supposed to I was supposed to go to LA in April, right?
And then obviously lockdown happened and that messed everything up.
So, but at the time when we was making it, it was kind of cool. It was kind of separate. Like we never were in the studio. I just sent it to her, and we like, I called her before. I was like, "Yo, this is what I'm on," and then I sent it to her. And we spoke afterwards, and it was mad funny. She was with her brethren when she picked up the phone, and they all just set the phone up and just started clapping like this. Cool. And then she killed Clutch as well. Like she killed that. Um, I really loved that song when I made it, but it was like it was something missing. And
Mm,
then her voice come in. She's got a beautiful voice as well. And
certainly
well,
does, man. And
with it.
and I saw the lyric video for Clutch. Was you mentioned in the beginning that you've been with your girlfriend during lockdown? Was that your actual girlfriend in the video as well?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so how did you break the news to her saying like, oh yeah, I want to do this video, quarantine lockdown. Are you comfortable to being on camera? Like, how did she take that when you told her
She
that you're doing this?
she's cool with it. She was riding. She like she's a model. Like she does like she models like a bit like a lot. Before lockdown, I think she was modeling, but
Hmm.
uh, yeah, she comfortable. She cool.
Yeah.
She obviously looked great. So,
No, she does. She does, man. You got a good one there still.
trust me.
And I saw it on your Instagram when you was in the studio and you were teasing the track to come out, and there
Mm.
was one comment that said, "I was wondering when you was going to drop that Drake feature."
That was Mirror, I swear.
I wasn't
Swear,
sure. I didn't pick up who said it, but I was thinking like,
swear.
"Yo,
No, it's a lie. It's not true. I don't know why she said that. She said that because I remember she said that, and then I think a couple people replied to it, and someone screenshotted it and sent it to me like, "Yo, what?" And I was like, "Why would you do that?" What she was on like, "What? You gonna drop this Drake tune now?"
is it out now? Yeah, you gonna do it? Yeah, like boom, boom, boom.
Like,
But when I heard the tease, I was thinking along the lines of The Weekend when I first heard the tease.
okay,
Yeah, is that a guy that you've been listening to as well as part of like influences when you do music too?
a little bit. I mean, I really liked Starboy. I really liked his album,
Mm,
Starboy. I've listened to like a couple of the new joints on his new thing, which is really cool.
mm,
Uh, he's obviously sick. He's never really been like, I've never like really like gone too deep into his music like that.
mm-hmm.
He's obviously a sick artist now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I see that on Twitter that you said you wanted to do another track with Mira May. Is that still in the works? Is that talked about?
Oh, for sure, that's defo coming.
Mm.
Uh, yeah, we gotta run it back. She's, just a little preoccupied right now, just about having a baby. So,
Wow.
uh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Congratulations to her.
yeah, trust me. So, we'll definitely run that back when the time
When the
comes, for
time's
sure.
right, when she's being a mummy and she's settling down and everything and she's ready to get back into it. Like I can't wait to hear another one for you guys, man. And obviously, of course, like like I said earlier, you had plans to go to Cape Town. You had plans to go to LA, like with the Virgin Fest. Were there more festivals and shows that you had booked for this year? In terms of like what you had lined up.
Way more. Had a bag of stuff lined up. But unfortunately couldn't run it. I was trying to go. I was had a couple of shows in America planned. Obviously Cape Town. I had a festival show in LA. I had a bunch of stuff. I had a whole bunch of writing planned to do in LA, but unfortunately Corona had
Yeah,
over.
it wanted to kick everyone's ass, but you know what? 2021, man. Like let's get that back up, man. We need those audiences back, man, for sure, man. Because I miss those vibes and the energies of the audience, man. And yeah, and just to touch on briefly, because I know you've been quite active in talking about this stuff, and there's a lot of stuff that's been going out lately, especially
Yeah,
with with Black Lives Matter and everything that's going on there. How have you been able to not only support what's going on, but also make people be aware of like we just want equality at the end of the day as a fight going forward?
it's a fact. I mean, yeah, it's uh it's like only so many times that you can see like videos on the internet of
Yeah.
innocent people getting like murdered in cold blood by people that are supposed to protect them and not do something.
Mm.
And I think that now is uh, it's a blessing that a bunch of people have come together and realized collectively at the same time that enough is enough. So yeah, I'm proud of all of my friends that have stood up and said something about this because it's so obviously so important. And if you haven't stood up and said anything, or if you're one of them all lives matter pricks, then you can like really need to fix up or have a conversation with someone and realize
100%.
that this thing is not about you.
Mm.
Rest up with my guy Charlie. We managed to raise a bunch of money to
Wow.
go to two sick charities. Charlie works at runs Drama Call, the brand. We sold these
I was
silence
going to
kills,
talk about that. Like, you have a project called Silent Kills.
silence kills, yeah. So well, Charlie did Beverly Kills, Drama Call, and then I did Heroin Kills as a collaboration when I dropped the Heroin EP.
Mm.
And we ran it back for one last one, Silence Kills, and donated all of the profits to half of them to a nationwide bail fund in the States for protesters, and the other half to a charity, Minnesota-based charity called Rebuild the Block, which is like helping to rebuild Black-owned businesses that have been like damaged or looted during the riots. And we managed to raise a lot of money, which is really, really, which is great, and I'm really proud of him for doing that.
Mm.
But now is a really, really important time.
Definitely, and like I said, I've said this to everyone that I've been chatting with so far. It's about education as well, and just allowing people just to open your minds more, and just let's let this shit stop, and let's just be all cool with each other. None of this bullshit going on, man. Yeah, and just on a lighter note, just to end off, what are you looking to do after this madness is over? I know obviously Clutch is the main thing you're focusing on right now, and normally I would say what would you be doing in the second half of the year, but I mean at this stage, so who knows?
Do you know what? I want to go to a theme park. I want to go
Oh
like
wow, okay,
go to LA. I want to go like Six Flags or something.
okay,
I want to. That's just came to my mind. I haven't been to like a Six Flags in time.
wow,
Trying to go to Six Flags. I'm trying to like eat some good food. I'm trying to get in the studio and write some songs like with someone other than myself.
yeah,
Uh, But yeah, bro.
I think it is possible now because obviously, social distancing, there are ways of making things happen. So it is still possible. So,
I'm just trying to get to LA, man. Really trying
yeah.
to.
Um,
But soon come.
yeah, man. What's your favorite theme park that you've been to so far then? Just to end off.
I haven't been to a theme park in time. I didn't know that just was a really random thought that just came to my head. Because me and my girl was talking about it a while ago.
Yeah.
Thought Park is cool, like but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I haven't really been to a theme park like as an adult.
Oh wow! So was it when you were a child then or a teenager? Was the last time you went?
Yeah, teenager. Yeah, I can't even remember the last time I went to like a proper theme park. Like I've been to like went to like Winter Wonderland and whatever, but like I didn't really like that. I'm trying to do the whole like your heart thumping out your chest type ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I remember I went to Canada a few years ago and I went on one of the roller coasters that was proclaimed to be the second highest roller coaster in all of Canada.
It's not
Bro,
the
I was shitting bricks. But when I got on there, I literally went, I was going up. And I was saying like, I love you, mum. Sorry for all the bad times I said shit about you. I'm so sorry. And then when it dipped, boom, my belly went up.
oh my days.
So I was apologizing to God and my family before going down. So, but yeah, if you ever go to Canada, I think it's Winter Wonderland. I think it is called. So yeah, you should check that if you ever are down there.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, man, do that, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on, man. I know you're a busy guy, and I know you got more famous shit to do, so I ain't gonna hold you up.
Yeah.
If you can tell our audience where they can catch you on all the socials, tell them right here, my man.
Oh, for sure. You see, it's Col3trane, Col3trane on whatever social media app you desire to check my thing on. And obviously, most importantly, you can find all my music on any of the streaming platforms on Spotify and Apple Music and YouTube and blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, make sure you check Clutch. It is a banging single with Kiana Leedy. Make sure you go check that. Make sure you go check his socials. And like I said, bro, I appreciate you coming on, man.
Thank you very much, bro.
And I
Appreciate it.
hope one day that when this lockdown shit is over, like, the next time we could do a promo day that I'll come see you again in person.
For sure. For
All
sure. We'll make
right.
it happen.
Cool, man. There's J Billz for Media Spotlight UK with Mr. Col3trane locking it down in lockdown. And we out here. Peace.
See.